So let's settle in. Wherever you are, I would just encourage you just to pause. Let the activity just stop as you allow your eyes to maybe close or just take your gaze down. And just really give yourself permission just to arrive into this moment. There's probably busyness around you, there's noises, there's distractions, but see if you can bring your attention to this next breath in and just notice it. And then watch it as it becomes the exhale. And see if by paying attention to these next few breaths, if maybe the noise and the activity and the movement around you doesn't seem as noticeable. It's still there, but our focus is here in this present moment. So just notice, watch that breath come in and watch it go out. And let's begin to breathe together. So allow yourself to sit really tall. If you're seated, if you're laying down, just really stretch out long. So we've got this beautiful line going from your tailbone to the top of your head. So let's take a slow breath in and a big sigh out. And a slow breath in and a big sigh out. Just one more together, breathing in and breathing out. And then I would encourage you just to settle into a rhythm of breath that feels right across these minutes that we'll share together. And we've been on a journey for a while, and this journey will continue through the text of the Yoga Sutras, just letting these ancient teachings about yoga and mindful practices and meditation and breath, just allowing them to really inform everything we do when we show up here in these moments, on this cushion, in this chair, on that spot where you are. And all of these Yoga Sutras, there's about 195 of them, they all go back to this one. Yoga, Chitta, Vritti, Nirodha. Yoga calms the agitations of my thoughts. It settles the disturbances in my head. It quiets the noise and the chatter. And so tonight, we're going to look at one of these teachings that is called one of the great keys, because we feel like there's this lock or there's this door, because we want to quiet the mind chatter and we want to settle all these agitations and these irritations in our head. But it seems elusive. But this text of the Yoga Sutras has so many different lines about the how. And really and truly, it's all about how we interact with the world, how we react to the things that happen around us. The last time we were together, the teaching was about this idea of truly showing friendliness and kindness to everyone, no matter what. Because when we can exhibit that, there's less turbulence in our head about them or their behavior or their actions. And so today's is similar. It's this idea of showing joy even when the person that is having something happen in their life that's good doesn't seem like they might deserve it. And I know it sounds terrible to think about sitting in meditation and talking about people not deserving good, but human nature, we tend to label. We label people by their behaviors, by their actions. And sometimes it's really hard in our spirit to reconcile when someone whose actions are not kind, are not peaceful, are not what we would label as good, but then good things happen to them. And so this line in the Yoga Sutra says, if you really want to calm these disturbances in your head and ease this turbulence in your spirit, you must show joy for all of them. For the people that you deem to be worthy of the good things happening in their lives and the ones that maybe you don't. So I want to just pause there and just kind of let that just sink in. Just sit with it for a second and think. There are people in your life that you struggle with. There are people in your life that their behaviors, their actions don't quite align with the way that you want to live your life. And oftentimes we judge what they do and what they say and how they act. And when they experience something good in their life, we wonder why. We question it. We can't quite understand how good things can come to people who are not always good. But what this Yoga Sutra, this thousands of year old teaching is telling us is that you've got to see the good in everyone. You've got to strip away the layers of behavior. You've got to let go of how you see actions and labels that you define them with. And you've got to see the spirit inside the person. And that spirit is where the goodness lives. And that spirit does deserve to have good things happen to them, the same way that you do. And so what I would invite each of us to do is this might cause a little reaction in your heart. So just kind of notice your heart, notice your breath. I'd like for you each just to picture in your mind's eye someone that does not align with you and how you want to live. It could be a person that you know personally. It could be someone far away that you've never met, but you see their actions. You watch them move through life. It could be someone gone from the earth, but was a part of your life at some point. But just see them. And see if as you see their face, you can really see them. Or do you see their actions and their behaviors? This is a hard one. We all want the fluctuations in our mind to calm. We all want the agitations to become less. But can we see the person? Can we be glad when something good happens to them? And can we separate their heart, their soul, their spirit from their behaviors? And it doesn't mean that showing up to meditation for a few minutes that you'll stand up and you'll see the world with new eyes. But it does mean that now we have a little more awareness. The first key to truly having calm in our heads, in our thoughts, was to be friendly to everyone, to show compassion to all of them, kindness. And the second key is when something good comes to all of them, we feel joy. I've studied this one text quite a bit, and there's something similar to it in so many different spiritual teachings. All the great big ones that you could name, they all have something in them about this. About us truly seeing the person and not the behavior. Just notice if your awareness has slipped away from watching that breath come in and out. And if it has, watch the breath come in and follow it as it goes out. And just ask yourself, do I want to have peace and calm in my mind? I know it sounds rhetorical, but truly ask. Do I want to have peace and calm in my mind? Am I willing to stop allowing the labels that I put on people to rob me of that peace and calm? They don't rob us of it. We rob ourselves. Just as much as you've watched this breath come in and out, you have complete control, as do I, over how I react, how I label what I see. And I think we would all say, I do want the peace in my mind. I do want the calm in my thoughts. I do want this seemingly endless turbulence to get quieter. And then there's this little caveat that we kind of fill in the blank at the end that says, if they would just act differently, it would not be so hard. But again, the control is ours. So what I'd like us to do is just think about this idea of joy, being happy for ourselves, being happy for others, true joy. And we're going to practice it in just a few different ways, and then I'm going to ask you to recall that person's face in just a moment that you saw just a second ago. The one that you struggle with. The one whose behaviors and actions don't align with how you think things should be. So let's practice this idea of experiencing joy within. And we'll see if we can extend it that direction as well. So taking a slow, deep breath in. And a full breath out. And a slow breath in. And a full breath out. And see the face of the person that you love the most. See them. Wish them joy. Be happy for them. Care about their well-being. See their face. Oftentimes when I think about this and I use this as an example, I can't help but smile when I see that face of that one person. And I think about this idea of wishing them joy. Of being so happy for them when something goes well. And now think about someone in your family who maybe isn't your person, and they may not even be related to you by blood, but they're your family. And your relationship with them has been up and down, and there have been good moments and there have been tough ones. But they're your family. Maybe they're related to you by actual blood, maybe by marriage, maybe it's this adopted idea of they just become your family. But it's not perfect. And there are moments of disagreement and there are moments of fun and laughter. See that face. And as you see that face, wish them joy. Be happy when things go well for them. Care about their well-being. And with those two examples, notice how you feel inside. Notice what's happening in your mind. Is it calm? Is it rocky? Is it somewhere in the middle? And now as we continue to breathe, I would invite us to see that other person. The tough one. The one who we can hardly see the person because we only see the actions. But see their face. And wish them joy. And commit to being happy when things go well for them. Care about their well-being. And notice how you feel when you think about that challenge. But I would hypothesize that that person that you saw first, that you love the most in the world, whoever they are, One of the reasons that you're able to wish them joy is because you're able to wish them joy. Because they too mess up. They too have behaviors that may not always align with what you think is right. They're not perfect. But you've committed to them. You love them and care about them, and you are able to wish them joy because you choose to wish them joy. And then there's that person in your life that it goes back and forth, and some seasons of the relationship are good and some seasons are a little tough. But still, you're able to wish them joy. Because you're able to wish them joy, it's a choice. They too mess up. But the joy that you can send to them, the love that you have for them in the middle of the times that are good and the times that are not, that's the secret. That's why. So what if you could do it for the other person? Stop seeing the behaviors and wish them well. The first two are not perfect. Neither is the third. But they all deserve joy and peace and compassion from us, which are extensions of this practice. I find it interesting that 3,000 years ago, when this man named Patanjali wrote these things, he could know what we'd struggle with today in the 21st century. But I think it's because he struggled with the same. And so I want us just to pause and just sit in the quiet and let all three of those faces just kind of sit with you like you've invited them to your practice. See if you can hold them all in your heart. And when they all experience good things in their lives, see if you can be happy for them. And then begin to notice how it feels in your mind, in your thoughts, in your spirit, once you're able to do that. So just continue to breathe and sit and be. And as you continue to breathe, I want to tell you what's on the other side of us trying to do this. What's on the other side is a new way of seeing. I've been practicing this idea for a long time, and I was tested by it just the last 24 hours. Someone whose behaviors I really struggle with. And I don't think that their behaviors have changed. But something in the way that we interacted just in the last 24 hours, I saw them differently. I knew this was where we were tonight for our time together, and I intentionally saw them differently. They didn't change. I did. And they did have something that happened today that would be considered a celebration. And I was able to feel joy. And within that, there was peace in my mind and ease in my thoughts. So there's not just practices that we read about and we study and we hope for the best. These truly are practices that can change, that can transform how we show up in the world. So together, take one more breath in and just seal this commitment to try. Just seal the commitment to try. Namaste.